Welcome back to the News at 10. Several months after the budget was presented by the President, the National Assembly has modified and passed the 2017 budget of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Will the 2017 budget now pass the test of creating new hope, jobs and prosperity for over 190 million Nigerians? That's a big question for our data analyst tonight, Babajide Ogusowo, who joins me now on the News at 10. Babajide, always a pleasure having you on the News at 10.
For me, it's always great to be here.
Okay, so we're talking the budget now. Though it's still waiting for approval in the from the presidency, the National Assembly has approved a 7.4 trillion naira budget for 2017. Now, apart from the goal that this budget will assist Nigeria out of recession, does it play any role in reducing corruption?
Well, so a wise man once said that you do not kill a tree by cutting off all its branches. So how do we kill corruption? We need to go to the roots and have a modest proposal. There are three things we could do. The first is the executives can focus on reducing income inequality. The second is the legislature can focus on improving prosperity by focusing on bills that will achieve that. Now, the third thing is for the judiciary to focus on the ease and speed of ensuring that justice is done. Now, that's the fastest way for us to kill corruption. But speaking about the budget and how it will help us out of recession is to look at what happened last year, and not to look at the totality of the budget, but to look at just one aspect of it, the capex. So last year we had a capex of 1.58 trillion naira. This year it's 2.1 trillion naira. That's an increase of 600 billion naira. But what is 600 billion naira? In simple terms, 600 billion naira means the executive or the country will have to spend an additional 1 million naira every minute. An additional 1 million naira every minute. That's what 600 billion naira is. But we need to ask ourselves, will the executive be able to raise that money? But again, the budget shouldn't just focus on what the executives or what the federal government can do with this budget. Let's look at what role do the states play. What role do the states play? And we've looked at the 2017 budget of all the states. That's 6.4 trillion naira, all the 35 states, excluding Ondo's budget we are still expecting. But here's the great danger. Lagos State's budget of 813 billion naira is greater than all the 6 states in the North Central, greater than all the 6 states in the Northeast. The 813 billion naira budget of Lagos State is greater than even all the combined budget of all the 5 states in the Southeast. So what does all of this mean? It simply means that getting out of recession isn't just the responsibility of the federal government. Lagos State indeed has a big role to play. So Lagos State is the New York of Nigeria, and indeed is also the Columbia of Nigeria. Why do I say Lagos State is also the Columbia of Nigeria? And also because the evidence shows Lagos State has the highest number of prisoners. So the state plays a huge role in the growth of the country and also in ensuring that there's peace in the nation.
So how easy will it be getting other states to also increase their budgets?
Not so easy, because just consider this. There are only 10 states in the country, only 10, that account for half of all the budget of all the states. Only 10 states. Lagos, Ogun, Oyo from the southwest, and the south Rivers, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Cross River and Bayelsa, and the northwest, Kano and Kaduna. So the concern is we've got only 10 states that account for half of all the budget of all states. Now the other states need to think and learn. Just like Confucius had said that if we fail to think, then we are in great danger if we fail to think. So here's what all states need to do to ensure they play a role in the economic growth and development of the country. We need to think and learn. Now let's look at an example of a company that thinks and learn, and that's Google. Google's budget, a company of less than 100,000 employees, they have a budget of $10.2 billion.
I think you need to sip some water here because I can hear the crack in your voice.
Oh, surely.
Let's take a sip of water and then continue.
So keep this. But let's continue and I'll take the sip of water later.
All right.
So the budget of Google is $10.2 billion. That's an equivalent of 3.1 trillion naira. In simple terms, Google's capital expenditure is higher than that of the country, and that's a company that thinks and learns. So what the other states need to do is to think and learn to ensure that we make progress.
Babajide, always a pleasure having you here on the News at 10. Well, no cakes, no nothing tonight, but thanks a lot for dropping by. Babajide Ogusowa, our data analyst right here in Channels Television. Now, Rivers State has celebrated its Golden Jubilee with a boat regatta at the Port Harcourt Tourist Beach. The colorful event had local government areas show their aquatic skills in complementary displays as they battle for prizes under the watch of government officials, traditional rulers and other spectators. However, Governor Nyesom Wike surprisingly sacked 2 government caretaker committee chairmen for disregarding the cultural heritage of the people.
On the platform of all families. You know, when people do things and think that they can go free with it, for such a competition, the chairman of the councils are not here. That shows that they are not serious. So I hereby sack them. They should go home and will appoint other people to take their position. What this represents is our cultural heritage. So many people do not understand that we have a lot of things that people can come here as a tourist state. You can see what the various local governments have been able to exhibit. It shows our cultural heritage. It shows that Rivers is blessed with a lot of things. And I want to say that every year, every May 27, we must have activities like this to keep our cultural heritage, which we are very proud of.
From one form of expression to another, at 82, Mr. Timothy Fasuyi is not dropping the brush. The veteran artist was recently celebrated by contemporaries for his contributions to the arts in Nigeria. Our tribute tonight joins the art community in applauding a man who played a role in placing Nigeria on the art map.
Gathered here are lovers of the art who have either encountered, admired or heard about him from a distance, or whatever box they fit into. They have come to the resource place in Lagos to felicitate with veteran artist Timothy Fasuyi.
Mr. Fasuyi was a man of few words. He was not given to talking too much. His paintings had taken over the task of expressing his innermost feelings. The composition and choice of colors were unique to Mr. Fasuyi. He ranked high among his peers.
It's not a talk shop, but an opportunity to appreciate the works of art created by this living legend. 82 years, 82 works to celebrate the feat by veteran artist Timothy Fasuyi at the Tafas Legacy Gallery, which is inside the resource place.
At 82, Banjo Fasuyi is still working. This is at a period when a lot of people would have given up, and retired. But he is reviving his studio practice.
This is a historic art exhibition tagged 60 years of experience with the easel, and it's an opportunity to show off his gallery where he houses his permanent collections for posterity.
I've not been selling my works. I don't believe in selling them because when I sell them, I have money. And when you have paid your tithe, paid everything, the artwork is gone, your money is also gone. So I've been keeping all this work till now because I want my gallery, Tafas Legacy Gallery, to be standard.
He's also giving the audience something to enjoy, from paintings which were done with acrylic or oil on canvas and board, to drawings on paper, either with pastel or charcoal, to sculptural pieces.
Among the major works that I have now, a big one, I call it the Gods, G-O-D-S, the gods are hungry. What I'm saying is that even if the gods are hungry, then those of us who are not gods will be worse. I have the other one about angry and hungry youth. All I'm trying to say reflects the situation in the country now, where youth have no job, they have no means of livelihood, they are doing all sorts of things funny to exist.
This exhibition of his works of art is part of the week-long list of events lined up to honor this living legend.
Alongside 7 aspirants gearing up in the All Progressives Congress for the governorship seat ahead of the November 18 election in Anambra State, the chairman of Anambra State Election Planning and Strategic Committee, Jim Wobodo, has announced that no candidate will be favored above another. He says the party will maintain fairness and justice in the conduct of the primary election.
Members of the Anambra State Governorship Election Planning and Strategic Committee announced their readiness to ensure that a credible candidate is elected in free and fair primaries, and advised aspirants to shun complaints and divisive tendencies so that the party will wage the war against the ruling APGA and take over.
To monitor the political environment in Anambra State as regards the 2017 gubernatorial election and report to the zone on a monthly basis. Number 2, evaluate the aspirants in our great party and advise the zone on how best to achieve crisis-free primaries. To properly articulate measures that ought to be taken by the zone, which can guarantee an overwhelming victory for our great party in the said election.
The chairman of the committee harps on unity of purpose and togetherness, adding that unseating a serving governor is never an easy task.
A house divided against itself cannot. You need to do extra work. You need to go out to talk to the people. You need to convince them that we need to be in the mainstream of politics in Nigeria. That's how it works here.
Elections in Anambra State have never been a walk in the park, and this one will not be an exception. The APC has its work cut out for it to see their dreams come true.
Still ahead of the news at 10, Tottenham Hotspur secure second spot, while Hull City get relegated in Super Sunday drama in the English Premier League. That's coming up in sports news. Stay with us.